Hi, good morning, guys. I'm Dharmendra. So, today I'll be discussing something on the reasoning part. See, if I tell you the moment I use the word reasoning, everything that you do in life successfully, there has to be something logic, something reason. Without using reasoning, without using analytical skills, you cannot do anything in life. Correct. Coming back, concentrating on the aptitude part and especially the quantitative part. Now, when you solve the questions of exclusively the quantitative, like the topics like time, speed, distance, permutation, combination, time and work, number system, there is a certain fixed concepts which is used as a tool. If you talk about SCF and LCM, if you talk about time, speed, distance, there is a concept. Speed is equal to distance upon time. So speed will be directly proportional to distance when time is constant and so on. Correct? So we use this as a tools to solve the questions wherein obviously the logic is involved. But coming back to exclusive reasoning topics, which we talk reasoning topics. But the first thing I'll tell you is it is type based topics. There is no hardcore concept or hardcore equations or theory which you use in every questions and solve it. No, that's not going to happen. You need to understand the question first, read it properly, understand it, decipher the clues, and then you crack those clues and solve, get to the final solution. Correct? Now, what we have done, even as far as the topic is concerned, or any book there will be, there are many books you will find in the market, and you will tell that the concepts are written. What are those concepts as such? First thing, they have segregated the topics based on type based, like seating arrangement type, which we are going to discuss today, blur relation type, input output type, series type questions, coding decoding type questions. Correct? In all these type based topics which I am talking to you, there are subtle points that you need to keep in mind. Those subtle points, which is something related to common sense, something related to the fundamental information, and that will actually help you to solve the questions. After that, if you ask me what is important, how you can groom yourself, correct? Let me tell you very frankly, to groom yourself properly in the reasoning questionnaires, like exposing yourself to the maximum variety of questions, acclimatizing with the different types of questions, so that when you get a sort of sense of logic. Okay, fine, this is what has to be done, this is how it has to be done, and that will come by practice. Acha, I'll give you a different, draw a different analogy. If I have to become, fit 6 months, if I have to, under 6 months, I want to become physically fit, correct? I want to tone up my muscles. It's not that one day I'll go eat lot many eggs, lot many almonds, and then, the next day I'll come or I'll do 200 push-ups and I'll develop that physical strength or that tone up muscles. No. I'll take small eats every day. That will increase the tenacity, that will increase the strength, and exercise has to be done daily. This is how we develop. Exactly same is the case in the reasoning part. All the reasoning topics, you need to understand certain basic things first as part of the theory. This is what we are going to discuss right now in this video, so that all those things, if you keep in mind, and after that, if you read the question properly, use the logic properly, and then decipher the clues, you will solve the questions. Correct? Now, today the topic that I have chosen to discuss with you is arrangement linear circular, data arrangement. Now, this is something sitting arrangement. This is sitting arrangement. Now, if suppose, as I told you, that the questions can be made from any particular where, anything in the universe, from there the questions of reasoning can be made. Now, suppose that 5-10 people are sitting among themselves. If I give you certain information, A is to the left of B, B is to the right of C, C is to the right of D, E is to the fourth of E, and F, and so on, correct? And then after giving those clues, I ask you, who is to the extreme left hand, who is to the extreme right hand, correct? So now, to solve this kind of questions, first part, you need to keep certain subtle things that I am going to discuss right now in mind. Second part, again, as I told you, the practice part. Similarly, the people can be arranged to sit, is there a rectangular table five people sitting and five people, they are in front of others, each other, correct? So in that case, again, couple of things that you have to keep in mind. People can sit around a circular table. Now around a circular table, there is no start and no end, correct? So again, there are subtle things that you have to keep in mind while solving the questions in the sitting arrangement, correct? Now, when I talk about, now see, the clues given about this all I have discussed, A is sitting. Now simply if I tell you, A is sitting to the left of B. Now, do you mean A is immediately left of B? No. If I tell simply A is to the left of B, A may be immediate left of B, or there may be few people between A and B, correct? So that you have to keep in. A is left of B means only A is to the left of B. There could be few people, that you have to keep in mind. If I tell A is to the immediate left of B, then in that case, obviously, immediate left of B, how you observe? You keep yourself in place of, let's suppose, B, then to your immediate left will be A. So in that way, you can do the arrangement, correct? Now, in that situation, B will be to the immediate right of A, correct? So if I tell you A and B, so now suppose if I tell you A and B are adjacent to each other, or A and B are near to each other. Now in that case, only thing that you know is either A is immediate left of B or B is immediate left of A. But you don't know, you cannot conclude that who is left and who is right. The same thing in case of if they are near to each other. So that you have to keep in mind. All these considerations, all these possibilities, you will have to keep in mind. If you don't keep in mind, then you will commit a mistake. Correct? Now let's come to this particular, if two information were joining by AND. These are the subtle things. Again and again I am repeating it. There is an example. A is third to the left of B. What does this mean? A is third to the left of B. If B is here, this is the first left. If you are looking in this direction, correct? So this is the first left, this is the second left, this is the third left, and so on. Immediate left is the first left, correct? Up here it is written A is third to the left of B. A is third to the left of B, correct? First, second, third to the left of B. This is what it means, third to the left, correct? And second to the right of D. Now for whom this is telling second to the right? A is third to the left of B and second to the right of D. So this and is for A. A is third to the left of B and A is second to the right of D. This is something related to the verbal, isn't it? Anyway, the language part. So A is second to the right of D. So in that case, D will come here and this is the first right and A is the second right. Correct? So this is what it means. A is third to the left of B and second to the right of D. Now this is what I conclude from this much statement, correct? So from here, if I tell, what can you tell about the adjustment of A, B and D? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So D is fifth to the left of B. Can I tell this? Yes or no? Okay. Now similarly, there is another statement, who, correct? You need to understand the meaning, what you conclude from those statements. Earlier I told you A is sitting third to the left of B and B is second to the right of D, correct? Now if I tell you A is third to the left of B, who is second to the right of D? What does this mean? Now A is third to the left of B is the same thing as I do. B is here, first left, second left, third left. A is third to the left of B. A is third to the left of B, correct? Who is second to the right of D? Now, who signifies which, whom? B. A is third to the left of B. B who is second to the right of D. So B is second to the right of D. So D will come here. So B is second to the right of D. Now here B is, if you're looking this direction, if you're looking this direction, so in that case, B is second to the right of D, correct? So A is third to the left of B, who is second to the right of D, okay? Now adjacent, I told you, I have already discussed something related to the adjacent. So now these are the things, as I told you, that you have to keep in mind, while solving the questions of the seating arrangement. Otherwise, you may make a mistake, and all these will be given in form of different clues. That will come to this point. Wait. Okay. Now there will be some specific and non-specific, means there are some direct statement. If I tell you D sits immediate left of F, then immediately D is immediately, you will put F here and you will put D here. So D is immediate left of F. But if I tell you D and F are adjacent to each other, then in that case what will you do? You will take this as a one possibility, and another possibility will be something related to this. F will be here and D will be here. Correct? So this will be the another possibility in that case. Correct? Now, as I told you, B. Now this becomes non-specific because you cannot be clear. If I tell you, once again I am repeating, if D sits left to the F, immediate left of F, so this is very, very clear. But if I tell F and D are next to each other, F and D are adjacent to each other, so you have to take into consideration this both the possibilities. Correct? And then you will, accordingly you will move. Okay. Okay. Now let's suppose, okay, D and S search for each other which has either D or F in that, and that will give you, draw the diagrams. We have already discussed this. Correct? Okay. So now let's come to this question. Let's understand whatever the subtle things that we have, just that I discussed with you, that I, spoke to you. Now let's use all those subtle things in this particular question. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H are sitting in a row facing north. Now the first thing which is written here, facing north, let's understand this. The general convention that we follow is this. Understand this very categorically, because this will be very much used in the questions. Like generally what we do, otherwise we do this in direction type question also. North, south, east, west. So this is north, this is south, this is east, and this is west. Okay, this is the general convention we follow. Correct? When you make a linear seating arrangement in a straight line, you generally prefer, or it will be generally preferred, better for you, that if you look in this direction, and this becomes the left and this becomes the right. Okay. In that case, if here they are facing north, it's easy because you can directly put the people are facing here, so somebody will be here, and accordingly you can arrange it in this particular straight line. Let's suppose if it would have been written that they are facing east, then what you would have done? Then how you would have to arrange in this particular way? Now that will become a little bit conversion. One thing you can do to see yourself in the front side, that is in this direction, that if something is written that they are facing east, so rotate this diagram by 90 degree. Then what you will get as, this you will get as east, correct? This you will get as north, this you will get as west, and this you will get as south. Correct? You will get in this particular way. Okay? So that you have to keep in mind. Now let's come and solve this question. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H are sitting in a row facing north. Okay. First statement is A is fourth to the right of E. Not necessary that you start from the first statement, you can start from anywhere where you get the maximum link. Second is H is 4 to the left of D. C and F, which are not at the ends, are neighbors of B and E respectively. H is next to the left of A and A is the neighbor of B. Question is, who are sitting at the extreme ends? I have given you, let us solve it. A is 4 to the right of E. First statement says A is 4 to the right of E. So I'll put E here, and first, second, third, and fourth. A is fourth to the right of E. Okay, 4 to the. H is 4 to the left of D. I cannot link with this, so I'll put second one somewhere here. H is 4 to the left of this. So let's put it here. We'll see later on. First left, second left, third left, and fourth left. So H is fourth to the left of D. So you get in this particular way. First, second, third, fourth to the left of D. C and F, which are not at the ends, are neighbors of B and E. Now you don't know where to put it here right now, not sure, respectively. Leave the third statement for a moment. Because that becomes as a non-specific, you cannot directly put it here. Now H is next to the left of A. H is next. Now again, next to the left of A, you don't know H will come in the right side or left side. Next to the left of A, and A is a neighbor of B. Now H is next. How many people are there? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. H is next to the left of A. Now H I can put here, correct? H can be here or H can be here. Now next to the left of A. Now you tell me, where should I put H? H could come here. If I put H as here, then in that case, how many? 3 positions? 1, 2, 3, and then comes D. So how many people are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now in this case 10 arrangement will be there. Now how many people are here? 3, 3, 6 to 8 only. Correct? So what would be there? So in that case what we will do? We will put, instead of this, we will put H here. We will put H here. If I put H, again this is next to the left of, acha, this is already written next to the left of A. I'm sorry, I just next to the left of it. So this is, if it would not have been written, then in that case also H will come here only, correct? So 1, 2, 3, and then comes D. Okay. I showed you, if next to the left of A, if this word would not have been written, still the conclusion would be this, correct? So H is to the left of A, although it is written here, left of A, and A is the neighbor of B. Now A is the neighbor of B, B can come left side or right side, but since H is already on the left side, so B will be on the right side, correct? Now comes C and F, which are not at the ends. C and F are not at the ends, are neighbors of B and E. So C respectively, C is the neighbor of B, so C will come here. Okay, and F is a neighbor of E, so F will come here because they are not at the end. So this position for F is ruled out. So who is left now? Now one person left is G, so G will come here. Okay, so now you get this as a proper arrangement. This as an arrangement. See, E, F, G, H, A, B, C, D. Okay, yes or no? Correct. So this is how. Now whatever the questions, now when you get this kind of few statements, here I have asked only one question: who is sitting at the extreme ends? So it will be E and D. Few more questions could be there. Who is to the fourth left of A, or who is to the third right of G, and so on. So when you get this kind of puzzle type, this question, so when you crack this puzzle sitting arrangement, you would be in a position to solve all the questions, because once you crack this, whether one question or 4 questions, you will immediately get the answer. Correct? Okay. Now, second thing which I want to show you here is another way of arrangement would be people would be sitting in front of each other. Like you see, this is row 1 and this is row 2. Now let's suppose there are 10 people are sitting, 5 people, let's suppose, facing towards north and 5 people facing towards south. Let's suppose I do this, that this is north, south, east, west. So 5 people facing towards north, that is this direction, and 5 people facing towards south, that is this direction. So this will sit. Now in that case, what are the couple of things that you have to keep in mind? Although all those things that we discussed about who, and, adjacent, immediate, next to, and so on, that will again work here the same way. More than that, what you see, if suppose a person who is to the immediate right of this one, if this is A, if B is immediate right of A, and somebody who is in front of B, Q, here Q is in front of B. Now you see, if I see B and Q are sitting in front of each other, so person who is immediate left of B is in front of person who is immediate right of Q, isn't it? So these are the things. P is to the immediate right of Q and A is to the immediate left of B. A is to the immediate left of B. So all these things that you have to keep in mind, while solving the questions of when people are sitting in the double row, correct? The summary part, as I told you in this particular topic, all these terms are important. All the links that are important. You need to decipher all those clues because some indirect statement, non-specific statement, you need to decipher it, correct? You will have to work on the possibilities. You will have to make a different cases. So all these things are going to come to you by practice, practice and practice. Beyond a limit, I cannot say more and more on the theory part because reasoning is something which is nothing but a mental exercise, mental jogging, and you enjoy it like anything. If once you enjoy, you will enjoy it like anything. Correct? Because brain wants food, and what is food for the brain is logic. Correct? So cracking logical puzzles is nothing like there cannot be a bigger fun than that. There are some independent questions. Some questions I have just put for your practice. So already I have discussed a couple of questions. So I won't discuss right now. In the class I'll be discussing with it. So just for your reference. Some reference book. We'll be providing you e-book through our department, School of Lifelong Learning, which covers all the topics that is being asked in the aptitude part, all the placement exams, and even some topics are discussed in more details, which will cater if you look for some other exams in which the aptitude is questions are asked. You are being tested on the aptitude form like the MBA entrance exam or GATE or GMAT, or there it will again help. Then again, reasoning by R.S. Agarwal, I'll tell you that book particular you can refer. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.